brown sauce in here. All right, now, normally, and I don't have it, remember I talked before about an acid. I want an acid in there to bring out all those undertones, all those flavors. I don't have it. What I would normally use is sherry vinegar in this. All right, again, you don't need a whole lot, you just need an acid. Because I don't have it, I'm going to use my champagne vinegar. And again, you don't need a whole lot. Just want acid in there to bring out flavors. Alright, so now that I have this in here, we're going to cook that down. Alright, and remember I talked before, we want to have some type of background in there. So the background we're going to look for in this, alright, is we're going to use some fresh sage. Fresh sage gives it a lot of poultry. Uses sage in there, turkey stuffings, things like that. But a great flavor profile. Gives it a nice contrast to what we're doing with the Marsala wine. Marsala wine is sweet. This sage has that dry type of flavor to it, so it's a nice contrast in there. Again, it's a recipe, it's a guideline. You want to put basil in there, you want to put parsley in there. By all means, you want to put oregano in there. Any type of background that you want, make it happen. Remember I was talking about before, your palate, your bitters, your sweets, your sours. By what we're doing here, it hits all of those. Alright? Alright, so we're looking pretty good. You got a nice sauce going down in there. Nice color, nice sheen, the whole bit. Alright? Again, we're going to finish this off with our butter and our herb. Fresh herbs. The other thing I didn't talk to you about with fresh herbs. Fresh herbs are fun. Yeah, you want to use fresh herbs when you're cooking, but I would never use fresh herbs in something you're going to cook longer than basically 10 minutes. And why I say that is fresh herbs will only extract the flavor for about 10 minutes. If you cook it longer than that, like in a tomato sauce, something like that, what's going to happen is you're going to kill your flavor. You're going to cook your flavor right out of it. If you ever notice, we put our herbs in at the end. You ever notice Grandma's tomato sauce, if she's going to do that, if you've got a grandma that makes tomato sauce, what will happen is they will put like a fresh basil or something in at the end. You don't want to cook it. So I'm giving it a taste. So right now, I still have a stronger acid background from the wine, from all of that. So I'm going to put a little more butter in there because I want to tone that down. And again, when I do this, I don't let it sit and melt. I move everything around so that it emulsifies with the whey and the oils. Alright, so that's in there. Again, we're going to give it another taste, see what that tastes like. And again, too bad we're not together, because I would have it pass it around so you could taste it so you'd understand what I was talking about. Alright, so that gives me a nice velvety finish right now, which is good. And I have a little bit of an undertone, but now, just by using that salt, and I'll taste it again. And it's not like I used a lot. Now all of a sudden the sage just popped out at me. Those undertones of the acids popped out. You still get that nice smoothness, that nice butter. All of that's there. And that's what you're looking for. So now when you look at this dish, remember the last one you saw where I had the chicken was all browned off and everything else. This one isn't. Alright? This one here, it's got a nice brown to it, but it's not all seared off like the other one is. And again, that doesn't mean that this is less juicy. I'm going to pull one out and I'm going to show you when I get done plating it. But now all of the flavors marry into this. So now you're tasting something that it's all one flavor for the most part. When you bite the mushroom, obviously you're going to get your mushroom flavor. When you bite into the chicken, obviously you're going to get chicken flavor. But it's not a standalone thing. It marries and it has the same properties. Alright, so back to our plating. Alright, so this time here, again, alright, the plate, I have my flour up top. I made risotto. Alright, Bob can talk about risotto and I can talk about risotto if I get on the call. Risotto again, Italian staple. The funny part about Italy is it's a small little region of Italy itself, but you have so many different cooking styles from the up north, which is more of your meats and all of that, going down through to Sicily where it's more of your fishes, all of that. So when you're looking at all of these things, you know, down in Sicily, you go up to Tuscany, they might not have the same type of dish, same style of dish or anything else, all different. What they did back in the day is they used the freshest, most local ingredients they could find, and that's what they made. That's how they made it work. That's why I'm talking about recipes. Recipes are guidelines. All right, you use what you have, you look around with what you're doing. I'm sure you guys are all cooped up at the house now because of the virus, and you might be ordering out, which is great. We haven't ordered out yet. We've been cooking different things all the time. And actually, we have a newspaper coming out where we're doing a pantry test contest with myself and a couple of the local chefs. That'll be out in the day paper. That just came to me today. And I got to come up with a recipe from what the pantry items are in their house. So it's neat, but that's how recipes come through. That's how you get all of these different, in this class, you're going to hear about all different types of recipes, all different types of ingredients, and all different types of methods. It's because that's what they had to work with. So anyway, let's go back in. We'll plate this little guy up. All right, like I said, so I made the risotto. The risotto that I made here is has a little bit of asparagus in there because I had the asparagus from the other dish, so I used it in here. Risotto normally has an acid in there, a tomato, so I put the tomato in there. Parmesan cheese is in there, garlic, onions. The risotto is an arborio rice that I used in there. Alright, but that's our dish right there. Whoops, a little bit of garnish. To finish off our plate. Little wipe here, little wipe there. And again, like I was talking about before, you want to make sure that your rim of your plate is clean and that your food is in the frame of the plate, which is your picture. And again, when you go to serve your dish, all right, you serve your entree towards your guest. So again, you would serve it this way here. So that's our dish. All right, and I just want to show you one more item in there, and that's basically cutting this little guy. Yeah, I'm going to turn this way. And again, you notice, like anything braised, kind of falls apart. If you had a brisket, something like that, a braised brisket would be the same. But you see how you got your juice in there, still very juicy, but very tender because, again, it's all braised and put together and stewed. So great flavor, great profile. Again, wish you were here so you could taste it. But that is the two different styles, one of searing and standing alone, the other one of braising and basically marrying all the flavors together. Hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully I'm with you and we can go over some of the background. Thank you.